Having your own business, being in complete control of your income and your schedule can be incredibly liberating. But so many people who are working 9 to 5 jobs don't know how it's possible to build a business while also maintaining the income that's helping them survive. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Hi, I'm Tasha with One Big Happy Life, and we help you find balance, build wealth, and live happy. Everything that you need to create the life that you want. So, in today's video, I am going to be sharing 6 tips to help you balance growing your business, which will probably start out as a side hustle, because that's definitely how it started out for me, into something that can replace your job income so that you can go all in on your business. So, if you're new around here, just a couple of months ago, I was still working full time as an attorney, and now I am 100% self employed, running my own company here at One Big Happy Life. So I know a thing or two about what it takes to build what is now a multiple 6 figure business while still working a full time job and while also having a family, because I have 2 kids, a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old. So my plate has been full even while I was building this business. So these tips are really what helped our business grow exponentially. And so I'm really excited to share them with you. Tip number 1 is to commit to growing your business. Actually go all in and decide that you are going to make this business thing happen. When we decided to do that, so just to kind of roll it back, so the first year that we were in quote unquote business, we were definitely looking at it as this fun side hustle thing that we were just doing just on the side. And that whole year of working on One Big Happy Life, we made $5,000, which for a fun side hustle, that's fine. But we realized that this side hustle was actually a lot of work and there are better and easier ways to make money than what the time that we were investing into this side hustle. So that's when the second year we're like, okay, we're going to really go all in on this and really put in an effort to grow this as a business. So from year 1 to year 2, we went from 5,000 to 76,000. And even still, I realized, okay, there's something I'm doing wrong here in terms of the amount of effort we were putting in and the return that we were seeing. But the point is, and I'll talk about what we did differently in year 3 that skyrocketed us to multiple 6 figures in a single year. But the bottom line is, it made a massive difference in our business once we actually decided to treat it as a business and something that we wanted to go all in instead of just dabbling. Because when you think of it as this thing that's just kind of fun and on the side, you don't take it seriously. It's not something that absolutely has to make money, and you don't necessarily show up consistently in your business the way that you would have to if you wanted it to grow. So tip number 1 is decide that yes, you are going to start a business. You're going to be a business owner. This is what you're doing, and just commit to it. Tip number 2, invest in your business. And this is something that we did from the very beginning. Way back when I first started doing vlogs, which was like December of 2016. This was before we were being consistent. I was just throwing videos on here and there. But there's a video that starts off with me going, I got a vlog camera. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. I'll link to it. It's fun. I love that part. But the point is, we bought a $650 vlogging camera, the G7X, before I had even fully committed to going all in to YouTube, and long before I had started to think, well, oh, we can have a full-fledged business, not just a fun little YouTube channel. And making that investment in our business caused us to show up pro, in part because we had skin in the game. And so for the first 2 years, we heavily invested in equipment. And, even year 2, when we made 76,000, so much of that went back into gear, into our attorney to form our LLC, because our day jobs were still funding our business, which, by the way, I didn't mention that, but it is a good thing that you have a day job because it gives you the capital to work on your business. So don't give your day job the side eye just yet. Think of it as like the angel investor of your business. But then in year 3, this year, I have spent by far the most I have ever spent on education. And that's just like knowledge-based informational products. And I'm talking tens of thousands of dollars. And that has really skyrocketed our business's success to the point where we're even targeting being a 7-figure business next year. Like that is where we're hoping to be. Even if we fall just a little bit short, I'm cool with that, but that's our target. And so a lot of people I see when they message me about wanting to find a business mentor or what's stopping them from starting their own business, they're like, well, I don't have the money. I just want to start my business without investing any money in it. And I'm like, well, it's going to be a lot harder for you to start a business from scratch with no money. It's like a business is a plant. You need to give it water. You need to give it food. You need to make sure it's in rich soil. But what you're saying is you want to grow, this plant right here. I don't know what kind of plant it is, but I guess it doesn't grow I'm guessing it doesn't grow in the desert. So you want this plant to grow in the desert, and you want a flourishing business, but you don't want to feed it what it needs to thrive. And if your business is cash starved, and this goes for any business, big or small, your business is not going to thrive. So invest in yourself and invest in your business. And the thing that I'll say is that a lot of people, the thing that stops them from investing in their business is not that they don't have the money, but that they're scared that they're not going to get the ROI on it, that they're going to spend this money and they're going to lose the money. And basically it's they don't trust in their vision and their ability to start a business, which is understandable because they've never started one before. But frankly, that is always going to be the nature of doing business. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to say, no matter what, I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to make this work. So every dollar that I invest in this will come back to me because I know that I'm committed to seeing this through. And so if you come at it from that viewpoint, then investing in your business is a no-brainer. And we still continue to invest heavily in our business. And at this point, we're now moving into investing into more employees and investing into people to help us do more of the work in the business. Tip number 3, and this one was a game changer for us, is creating a profit plan. So that means we stopped and decided at the beginning of this year, 2019, we stopped and we're like, look, what kind of business is it that we want to start? What feels really authentic to us? What is something, what kind of work do we enjoy out of all the things that we've been doing in our business to make money? Which ones do we want to go all in on, and which ones do we cut? And then what do we need to do in our business to grow those lines of business to have our business make the kind of money that it needs to make in order for first me to go all in, and then for us to hire in the business as well. And so if you have not downloaded it yet, you should go to onebighappylife.com/profit plan. And so with that freebie, I share the 10 ways that online businesses make money. And so what we did was we sat down and we're like, okay, let's look at these things. Let's see which ones intrigue us, which ones we want to do now, which ones we might want to do later, and which ones we definitely don't want to do at all. And so we also talked about the pluses and the minuses. So for example, relying on just ad revenue, whether it's blog revenue or YouTube views, it's very much you're reliant on the algorithm, you're reliant on SEO, and it's a volume play where you need to have so many views to make a significant amount of money that we decided that we didn't want that to be our primary revenue source. And so we needed to move away from that. And that's exactly what we did. So just having a profit plan in place, deciding what kind of business you want to have and how your business is going to make money means that you can be really targeted and efficient in how you're building your business instead of kind of being scattered all over the place, which is definitely where we were for the first 2 years. This year, our focus has been like laser, and it's made a huge difference in our business. Tip number 4 is to batch your work. As much as possible, we try to group like-minded tasks together so that we can be more efficient. So when it comes to creating our content, we actually put together a content calendar that's at least 1, if not 3 months ahead, so we know what's coming up. So I will sit down and plan out the content calendar for 1 to 3 months all in one shot. It takes a couple of hours, but then I don't have to go back to that again unless something changes where we're like, oh, let's swap this around. But that's a quick change and we already know what we're swapping it out for. Same when we sit down to shoot videos. So I do not wear makeup on a day-to-day basis. If you follow us over on Instagram, you'll see in my Insta stories, I am typically barefaced. So we need to shoot our videos, multiple videos, typically at a time, to take advantage of all this makeup goodness going on. And so we batch create our videos, we batch edit our videos, they get batch uploaded and scheduled and thumbnailed and all of that all at once, so that we don't have to look at making videos again for 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks if we're doing really well. And so that enabled us to get stuff done even while we have our day jobs. So one of the things that I like to recommend to my business coaching students is I'll say, if you have kids, because we have kids, sometimes you may want to think about getting a sitter, and then for us, like the first Saturday of the month. So the first Saturday of the month is your content creation day. And then when you're done, you're done. And once the content creation is done, that's really a huge part of growing the business and getting out in front of people. So then after that, it's just kind of maintaining, being on social, unless you're going into a launch for your product or something like that. But just batch working allows you to be really efficient. And when you're still working a 9 to 5, you need to be really efficient with your time because you just don't have as much of it. Which brings me to tip number 5, which is to be consistent. And batching helps you be consistent. If you want your business to grow, you've got to show up for your business week after week. You can't just do a little bit on your business now and then skip a few weeks and then come back to it, because you're going to lose momentum. And your audience needs to know that they can trust you to be there for them, right? That you're really in it for them to help them. And if you're only there sometimes and they don't know whether you are going to be there or you're not, I mean, think about it. If you have one of those friends that's kind of flaky, are you going to count on them to help you when you need help, or are you going to turn to someone else? So it's the same kind of thing. You've got to be consistent in your business. You've got to show up like you are already the CEO of a 6-figure or multi-6-figure business and act like you would in that case, which is you're not just going to not wonder what is going on with your business for weeks at a time. You're going to at least do some check-ins with your second in command. And since you're a solopreneur, because you're just starting your business, you are the second in command. So you've got to show up for your business, just calendar in that time, just put it in your calendar to say, this is what I'm going to be looking at in my business on these days, and let your spouse and your children know this is mommy or daddy's do not disturb time when I'm just focusing all in on this business. And this is something I'm doing not just because I'm passionate about it, but it's something that I'm doing for all of our future as a family. So I want you guys to support me in this. Tip number 6, cut out the fluff from your schedule. So I don't watch much in the way of Netflix anymore. I don't play video games as much as I used to. I've actually started to make more of an effort to include video games as my dedicated leisure time. And I'll watch Netflix, say, when I'm on the treadmill down in the basement, or like lifting weights down in the basement. So that's how I squeeze in those things. But at the end of the day, you have to decide, 10 years from now, will you wish that you had sat on the couch and binge watched Orange is the New Black? Or will you wish that you had put that, I don't even know how many hours or how many seasons, 5 seasons. So let's say maybe 60 hours into growing a business that could have thrived and given you the lifestyle that you actually want and full control of your schedule. So whenever I start to feel like, oh, well, I don't get to do this or that, one, I remind myself that everything that I do is a choice. So it's not that I don't get to do it, it's that I want to do other things more. And then 2, I'm like, okay, if you really want to do this, let's figure out ways to fit this in. Let's see what we can cut out so that we have more of this thing. And let's make sure that you're not wasting your time mindlessly scrolling through Facebook for an hour or 2, when what you really want to be doing is watching the latest season of The Magicians. I'm just speaking for myself here because I love that show and it's coming back next year, and I kind of don't want to watch it because someone died at the end of last season and I'm still not over it. And tip number 7, and this one is a big one, you have to take care of yourself, because look, It is a lot building a business on the side of your day job. It's a lot harder than just side hustling because you're trying to grow something. You're passionate about it, it's your baby, and you want it to be successful. And so there is going to be a certain amount of pressure. There's a lot of mindset work that goes into going full on into entrepreneurship. And so it's important that you avoid burnout. And the way that you do that is by taking proper care of yourself. So that means you're getting in the sleep. Like, listen to your body, get enough sleep. Drink water, eat foods that nourish your body, like most of the time. Don't just go all the way over to junk food. At least make an effort to have something green, a green smoothie, something that counts once a day. And exercise as you can, just even stopping to take a 10-minute walk on your lunch break. Because I know I did a lot of work on One Big Happy Life during my lunch breaks, but I would always make the effort to get up, walk at least 10 minutes before I sat down and switched over to working on my own business during my lunch break at work. So I know that if you take these tips to heart, they will help you in your entrepreneurship journey. And don't forget to grab the profit plan by heading over to onebighappylife.com/profit plan. And I'll see you next week. Bye.